Hello and welcome to our live crafting session today. My name's Jenny McCormack. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you are well. It's a beautiful morning this morning here in the UK. It's nice and warm and a little bit of a breeze, so a little bit more pleasant to be working in. So if you joined us yesterday, you will have seen me create this card using a stamp set called Breaking News. I'll just lift that up for you. Hopefully you can see that okay. And this is a stamp set in our annual catalogue. It's a new one to me. It literally arrived yesterday or the day before. And it obviously mimics a newspaper, which is this stamp here that we've used. And then you've got elements of images that you can add in, and also sentiments as well. So there is a title section here that you can put a sentiment into, and then you've got the gaps here that you could fill with anything you wanted. So I did a quick scout through some of my stamps yesterday to work out which items I could pop in, and one of the ones I came up with are the Party Puffins, because I think this happy birthday will fit, should fit in that title section there, and then the puffin would go in here, and then I could use these little candles across the top. But you could also use anything with a fairly small image. So I thought if you wanted a new home card, you could use one of the little bird houses in this area here, and you can have some of the little birds along the top with, not sure that welcome would fit in the top, but welcome would definitely fit in there. And also there will be a variation coming, not quite yet, but with a Christmas theme. And also this alphabet set called Alphabest would also work really well, because you could put letters and numbers either up here or in this gap. With the Alphabest, these numbers are larger than most of the letters. I know the letters, the smaller letters will fit here, but you might want to put the larger numbers in here, or you could stamp them onto a separate piece and pop it on the top. So watch out for some variations on that as well. So today I thought we'll just use the puffins, and I'm going to start with a white base card. I'm going to add a basic grey layer, and I thought I would use our vellum. And this particular sheet here looks rather like, not so much a newspaper, but printed text. Let me put it against the white. Hopefully you can see that, like so. So I thought that would be a fun little background. So I might just layer this up like so, and then pop our cut out design on the top. So let's pop the layers to one side for a minute. I've got the stamp left on the Stamparatus from yesterday. Let's pop that there. And will it work? Yes, it will just fit that way. Hi Kerry, I hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. So I'm just doing it like that just to save a little bit of card. magnets on there. Yeah, that was a bit clever. Hi Fran, and good morning to you. I'll move it a little bit further over. Let's make my life a little bit easier, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, we got there. That one there. That one there. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to use for this one, I think, is basic grey for my newspaper, and I probably have to ink it a few times. Let's have a look and see. Seems to have got a real shadow going on there. Let's see if that's a bit better. Okay, so I am going to just fussy cut this one out like I did yesterday. Could move it up a bit out of that. Right. There we go. And obviously the Stamparatus is perfect for this. It's quite a big stamp, and because it's got some quite fine lines, you do need to be pressing it fairly hard or use your Stamparatus. Okay, oh, there's a little bit of a gap there on those lines. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. Take that out of the way. Right, so I've got my Party Puffins, so I'm going to put my happy birthday across the top, and I'm hoping that should just about fit in there. And I think I'll do this in a colour, maybe Mango Melody, because I'm going to pick up obviously the orange for the Puffin's bill, or it could be pumpkin pie, maybe pumpkin pie. So just going to make sure that is clean to start with. Haven't used these puffins for a while, but this is the nice thing about a stamp set like this, is you can mix and match it with so many different sets. Hopefully. That will do the job. This would make a great party invitation, I think, especially for youngsters. Okay. There we are. Happy birthday. And then I'm going to add the puffin in there. So the only one that's going to fit, I think, is this one here. Like so. Make sure it's roughly straight, like so. So if you were doing invitations, then obviously what you would do is set these all up at the same time on one or two plates or on either side, so you could just keep repeat stamping rather than adding them separately like I'm doing. There we go. And I just want to darken this one out as well. Morning, Babsy. And I'm using basic grey again. I do find, particularly with the photopolymer, that the stays on is just a bit too sticky for it. Let's just do one more. It's amazing how many layers of this make it look really black. There we go. Okay, so there's our puffin, and we'll just be colouring in his beak and his feet. Just moving my light down a bit because it... I'm not quite sure why it's so shadowed today. Okay, so let's add, so I was thinking of adding the candles from this set here. And so these candles actually come as one stamp, which might fit in here, but as luck would have it, as you know me, I like to make my stamps work. So what I actually have done previously is I cut the candles up. So I've got 3 different candles that I can use, which makes life a lot easier for doing a line of candles, which is what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to move this up into light. I have no idea whether it's because I've got my windows open or something, I don't know. Right, 1, 2. Ah, well done, Kerry. Great minds think alike. Now actually this has got a little piece on here, so I'm going to move these over. So when I cut my stamps, I don't tidy them up so that I can put them back as a single stamp. There we go. They're not going to be brilliantly spaced. If I wanted them exact, I just pick them up and do them individually. I just wonder if I can get away with moving that and that. Let's see. Okay, let's give that a go. Now I've done it like that, just in case I can move it along and hinge step it. I don't think the spacing will be quite right, but I can just move my piece of paper over slightly if I need to, or just reposition them. Okay, they look roughly straight. It's not the end of the world if they're not straight. Those up again. Like that. And this is roughly lined to here. what I'm going to do is just measure this. About 1.5 inches. Oh, of course I would be on centimetres, wouldn't I? I think that will work, but I'm actually going to trim this side down so I can just make sure it's a bit further over. I wasn't thinking of this when I put it on, was I? Okay. You're thinking, Jenny, it would have been easier just to put it on the stamp. I think that will do. Let's go for that. It'll be close enough. Fingers crossed, everybody. Yeah, that will work. There we go. Okay, so I've got my birthday candles across there, and I've got my puffins. So all I need to do is a little bit of colouring in and cutting out. So I'm just going to use pumpkin pie, maybe light and dark. I can never remember which way round this is. Let's put my glasses on. Okay. And his feet, or her feet. There we go. And then let's do some flames. So I think this would work for a male or a female birthday, young or old. I think it would work for any of those. But where you've got a stamp set like this breaking news, it's always good to try and make the most of it, maximise it by mixing it with other stamps. Go. And I've just got the candle colours. Let's go for Pool Party. Light, dark. There we are. So, okay, so I'm going to cut this out. In the meantime, I'm just going to get my layers ready. So I could actually use Pool Party rather than basic grey, but my plan was white basic grey, white vellum, and then my cutout on top. Oh, because I used Pool Party yesterday, so I'm definitely going to stick with the grey in that case. So I'm just going to trim these down to size. Like that. So my grey layer will be 1/2 centimetre smaller than my card, so this will be 10 centimetres by 14.35. Now we do actually have some white vellum with white writing. So that would also work. So the vellum I'm going to cut 1/2 inch smaller, 1/2 centimetre even. No, that's how I was going to do it, wasn't it? Good morning, Zoe. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're well. So that's going to be 13.85. So I've got my basic grey layer, my white layer, and then I'm going to add my vellum layer, which could be the same or it could be smaller. Just going to take it smaller. I'm going to take it from this side to even that up a little bit. So this one is going to be 9 centimetres. That's it, and it will be 13.35. A mental block there. I don't normally do that many layers on a card. Okay, so that's going to be my grey layer underneath. Just going to use my stamp and seal for that. So I've already pre-scored this basic white card. Okay, that layer on top. Like so. And then my vellum layer, just making sure that the writing is the right way round. And because my little cutout newspaper is going to go on top, I'm just going to apply some seal to the centre of the vellum. Like so. And I do find with our seal that provided the card underneath is quite light in colour, you don't see the glue anyway. But if it was a dark card, you might potentially see some of the glue. But we're going to be covering that up with our little newspaper here. So I'm just going to fussy cut this out, exactly as we did yesterday. It's nice and easy. I did also think you could use a few different layers of vellum as well to make it look like the newspaper was stacked behind. Come on, to it. Hi Glenda, good morning to you. or indeed good evening. Okay. So just fussy cutting. I could just cut it straight actually. If you wanted to, you could do that. So this is definitely a set where you need to sit and go through some of your other stamps and put different combinations together. I am going to just add a little bit of shading. Between these layers. Like so. And so we can pop this one up either straight or jaunty like we did yesterday. So this was yesterday's card if you didn't join us for that. So this uses all of the some of the images rather from the same stamp set, and this one we've added the Party Puffins stamp set for the puffin, the sentiment, and for the candles. I quite like that jaunty one again, so I'm going to add that with I've got some of these strips that I used yesterday. This came from one of the kits. So as it's quite a big area to cover, I'm going to use that. And that is done. So this is our featured stamp set of the week, and we'll be featuring this at Coffee and Card on Friday in Brackley and on Monday in Toaster. So I'll be looking out other examples to mix and match with this. I think so everything else is more rigid. Let's go for a jaunty angle like so. Just score that card. And there we have it. So I could pop the puffin or the candles on the inside of the card like I did with this one yesterday. I added the cake to the inside and the envelope, so I can do the same with with this one here. And I could also add a little bit of Wink of Stella onto these candles to make them sparkle, so I will do that shortly. And there we go, that is today's card. So I hope you like it. That's the finished result. This was yesterday's one, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow evening for another variation of this. I've got a completely different idea, so I hope you're able to join me for that. Thanks, Glenda. So we'll be live 7 p.m. here in the UK. Obviously, if you're not available to catch us live, or you're another part of the world, then you'll be able to watch this on catch up, both on Facebook but also on YouTube. All of my videos get uploaded to YouTube, so you can check those out. And I always use hashtag stamp set of the week. So if you're looking for designs that I've used the stamp set of the week, then just use that and you'll find them all collated together. Thank you so much. Something nice and simple, something slightly different. I hope you enjoyed it. Do take care. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon or evening. I'm off to finish packing my class in a box projects ready to go out. Some of them will go out today. So I look forward to catching up with you later. Thanks so much, everyone. Do take care. Thanks for joining me. Keep crafting, won't you? Bye for now.